Hey, well going everybody. So today we're going to be doing the Claude AI Fluency Framework and Foundations. And the topic we're on today is the 4D framework. So I'll make sure to include the link in the description so you can follow along. But yeah, we could learn this together, you know what I mean? So I will just make this more focused. And then so by the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain the basic AI Fluency framework and its core 4Ds: delegation, description, discernment, and diligence. All right, so the 4D framework. And I already said this in all my videos, but pretty much we read the article first before we watch the video. So now let's see. It said this video introduces the four core competencies of AI fluency, or the 4Ds: delegation, description, discernment, and diligence. And we kind of heard a little bit about this in the previous videos on AI fluency. So if you haven't checked that out yet, just give that a quick pre. All right, so it says delegation: thoughtfully deciding what work to do with AI versus doing yourself. Description: communicating clearly with AI systems, telling it what exactly you need to do or whatever. Discernment: evaluating AI outputs and behavior with a critical eye. So reviewing the work the AI actually done. All right, diligence: ensuring you interact with AI responsibly. Cool. So we explore how these competencies work together across different ways of engaging with AI, and why developing these skills prepares you for whatever AI evolution brings next. So preparing. All right, so it says not terminate or anything like that, but yeah. So the key takeaways: AI fluency means engaging with AI in ways that are effective, ethical, efficient, and safe. There are three primary ways we engage with AI: automation, augmentation, and agency. For automation is where AI executes specific tasks based on your instructions. Cool. Augmentation: you and AI collaborate are as creative thinking and task execution partners. So you're working together with AI. Agency: you guide AI to work independently on your behalf, shaping its knowledge and behavior rather than specific actions, right? So then actions, right? So the AI fluency framework consists of four competencies, the 4Ds. We just talked about this: delegation, description, discernment, and diligence. So for delegation, it's deciding what work the AI will do versus yourself. Description: communicating effectively with AI systems. I pretty much read these already, but discernment: evaluating AI. Diligence: ensuring responsible AI collaboration. These competencies apply across all three ways of working with AI. Developing these competencies prepares you for evolving AI capabilities. So they have some exercises for us. I think we just have to pick one. So let's just go with exercise one. So it's to pick one of these collaboration scenarios and consider how you might apply the 4D framework. All right. If you forgot what the 4D framework is these things: delegation, description, discernment, and diligence. Right? And it reminds you here. Anyways, so you're working with, all right, so communication project. You're working with an AI assistant to draft a series of emails for a marketing campaign. Cool. Delegation: what aspects of this project, what aspects of this project would you handle yourself versus collaborate on with AI? So again, the question is: you're working with an AI assistant to draft a series of emails for a marketing campaign. For this, for delegation, for delegation, I pretty much just have the AI kind of format some of the emails based on the campaign documents that we have. So I'll have pretty much the AI use I'll use the AI to create the documentation or to create the emails based on the marketing campaign info that we have. All right, and then for description, how would you communicate your vision for the campaign's tone, purpose, and success criteria to the AI? So I would pretty more than likely just upload some of the marketing campaign documents. Because the more context you give Claude or the AI, it pretty much is better with its response. But one of the things is like we have to also mention the main goal. So we'd mention like how far we actually want this marketing campaign to be or how we want to evaluate it, analyze darn thing. And then discernment, what criteria would help you evaluate whether the AI drafted emails meet your needs? All right, so pretty much I guess this is where some analytics could come in. So or pretty much the actual drafts. So I guess for this, what I would do is pretty much review some of these emails. I try to ensure that they match the tone that we want for this email. Are all the marketing keywords and so forth like that are actually entered? I try to check for those stuff. And then for diligence, what considerations around transparency and responsibility would be important? All right, so transparency, we want to make sure that these drafted emails by Claude are based on the documents that we added for the marketing campaign, and there are no hallucinations or anything like that. So we try to review those and try to ensure that any no customer information is leaked or support. So for a research project, you're using AI to help analyze a large data set for a research paper. Delegation. All right. How would you divide analytical work between yourself and the AI? So I know you can pretty much we had a video on this, so you could use research mode in Claude. So pretty much I would pretty much have Claude, I would give it all the context I need, but I'll be working with it more so having it once I give it all the context, I would ask it the questions and have it run in research mode. So before it actually start doing anything, it kind of like make a plan. And then once that plan is cool, then I'll move forward with it. Um, and then I'll review and pretty much move forward with it. Description: what context would the AI need to understand about your research question to do its share of tasks well? It would need to know what's the focus, what's the research paper is about, set up any guardrails, or maybe mention that I want certain citations just to make sure that's getting true, real information. That would help. And then for discernment, how would you verify the AI's analysis for accuracy? I guess, yeah, I'll definitely use citations. Based on the citations that it's given me, I'll check if that's a credible source or have it evaluate, measure, like give me some percentage on how accurate this source is and so forth. Diligence. What ethical considerations might arise when publishing AI assisted research? You might worry about more so using first thing is hallucinations, because AIs can hallucinate. So to set up different guardrails to make sure that that hallucination doesn't happen. And then definitely just evaluating and reviewing your own work, um, adding sources again, citations to ensure that this is proof, giving credit to where credit is due. And then we have the creative project. Now I just did two for you. I'm back gonna do the class creative one. For now, let's just skip past this. And then it said for reflection, before moving on, take a moment to consider which of the four Ds do you feel most confident in already? Which might need more development? Can you recall a recent AI interaction where the framework might have helped? Yeah. What specific skills from the 4D framework would most enhance your work or personal projects? So, all right, cool. And so the next lesson, Deep Dive 1, what is generative AI, is a two-part technical lesson that explains the foundational workings of modern AI, how it differs from previous technologies, and its current capabilities and limitations. This knowledge will provide valuable context for the 4Ds and especially strengthen your delegation competence. That was a lot. But pretty much what I look at, the next one is going to be generating AI, and it's going to be multiple parts. Now, let's run this video. And for whatever didn't cement, we'll take you to some more context.
Hi, my name is Rick Dakin from the Ringling College of Art and Design. Now that we've explored what AI fluency means and the different ways we interact with AI, let's dive into the core competencies that help us navigate AI collaboration effectively, efficiently, ethically, and safely. No matter how you're working with AI, whether through automation, augmentation, or agency, there are four essential competencies that make all the difference. We call them the 4Ds: delegation, description, discernment, and diligence. First is delegation, which focuses on the big picture. What are you trying to accomplish? What kinds of work are involved? What work should you handle yourself, and where might AI be helpful? Think about a research project you're working on. You might decide to have your AI assistant review lengthy documents and data, then engage in a thoughtful discussion about the implications and findings, but reserve the critical analysis and final conclusions for yourself. To delegate effectively, you need to understand your goal and the problem you're solving, recognize what AI can and can't do well, and lastly, thoughtfully divide the work between you and the AI. Delegation isn't just about offloading tasks. It's about having a clear vision and strategically choosing how AI fits into your process. This thoughtful approach is essential for both effective and efficient AI collaboration. Next comes description, which focuses on clear communication with AI. Consider the difference between vaguely stating, "make me a logo," versus describing your company's values, target audience, preferred colors, style references, and so on. Or if you're using an AI as a tutor, you might take the extra step to specify, "don't tell me the answer, just help me work through this problem step by step so I can better understand the concept." Description goes beyond just writing prompts. It's about having detailed, context-rich conversations that establish what you're hoping to achieve in the format of the output, how you want the AI to approach the task, the context and information that the AI might need to best work with you on this task, and the tone and style of interaction. Effective description means articulating your needs and vision in a way that sets up both you and the AI for greatest collaborative success. The third D is discernment, which involves thoughtfully evaluating what AI gives you. Let's say you've asked an AI assistant to suggest a marketing strategy. Your discernment comes into play as you assess, are the facts accurate? Does the reasoning make sense? Do the recommendations align with your brand values and audience? And most importantly, does this output actually help you move forward? Discernment draws upon your own expertise in a domain and requires developing the judgment and critical insight to separate what's useful from what's not, and to recognize when AI outputs need refinement or should be set aside entirely. Most of our interactions with AI involve small loops of description and discernment, describing what we need, evaluating what we get, refining our request, and so on. We'll explore this more deeply later in the course. Finally, there's diligence, which focuses on responsible AI interactions. For example, if you are using AI to help write job descriptions or review applications, how are you ensuring fairness and controlling for potential biases? When making important decisions with AI assistants, how are you verifying the accuracy of the information presented to you? Are you protecting sensitive data? Have you considered how to be transparent about the involvement of AI? Are you willing to be accountable for the AI-assisted work you have done? Diligence means taking ownership of your AI-assisted work and being willing to stand behind final products created using AI. Diligence is critical for safe and ethical AI collaboration. To recap, AI fluency means developing practical skills, knowledge, insights, and values that help you use AI effectively, efficiently, ethically, and safely. AI fluency includes 4 key competencies: delegation to decide when and how to use AI, description to communicate clearly with AI, discernment to evaluate AI outputs, and diligence to use AI responsibly. What makes these competencies so valuable is that they aren't tied to specific AI tools or techniques that might become outdated. Instead, they're fundamental skills that will help you adapt and grow alongside this rapidly evolving technology.
So yeah, that was good. It's a lot of info, but that was good. It was needed, right? So that's the 4D framework course. And remember, I only did um, yeah, so I didn't finish this one. We still have the creative project, but I'll handle that on my own. I want you to actually try one of these if you did, unless you did like exercise 2, but you still have this one right here that you could do. And now, if we look on next, In the next video, you'll see that the focus will be on generative AI fundamentals. So definitely a really good topic. So stick around and we'll handle that in the next video. But again, you're here with the nerdy Audi. I don't know the motto. Anyone can learn anything with time, practice, and failures. All right, I'm out.